Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button if you're not a subscriber. I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss the episode. Also, if you're interested in improving your finances, check out the link below. Join the free newsletter. So we're going to talk about SNAP, which is been in the news for a while. As you know, SNAP will be no longer providing food stamps as of November 1st. So, we're going to talk about things that you can do about that to improve your financial situation. And then we're going to talk about the statistics behind SNAP because I think that is very interesting. So, SNAP, as you know, stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Essentially, it's the food stamp program. So, let's talk about the statistics. When it comes to SNAP, how many people do you think are Black? How many people in SNAP are Black? Give me a number out here. Give me a percent. Before I do that, there are 40 million people that get SNAP. 40 million. So what percentage are Black? Feel free to put it in the comments. All right, I think these statistics are interesting. So Blacks make up 26% of that. All right. So you look at the whites. Whites make up 35.4%. Look at the Hispanics. Hispanics make up 15.6%. Asians, 3.9%. Native Americans, 1.3%. So does anybody find that interesting? 40 million people. Can you imagine? Millions and millions of people are getting food stamps, right? And I don't believe that this is out of laziness. I believe this is just not having information. And why would you have the information? It's not in the school system, right? So either you get it from your parents or you get it the best way that you can. So, but we are in one of the greatest times of our lives right now because we have more access to the information. Why? Because you can go listen to some podcasts. You got people talking. Now, they're not going to reveal all the secrets, but they're revealing more than what our ancestors had access to. So you can go listen to a podcast, you can read books, you can listen to you look at YouTube. So we have more access to information now. All right. So when it comes to SNAP, as you know, this is a result of the government shutdown, and they are threatening to suspend benefits. There will be no payments November 1st. All right. So some people are expecting that there will be a lot of chaos on this day, which is coming very soon. All right. So the Democrats are trying to place contingency funds. Um, However, contingency funds are not legally available. All right. So what are they doing? They are focusing on sending people to local food banks and or buying shelf-stable food. So a lot of governors in the different states have kind of stepped up to the plate to do what they can do about what is happening. All right, some are supplying emergency funds. Some are directing the National Guard to help facilitate the donations. And the Democratic leaders from 25 states plan to sue the Agriculture Department. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the things that some of the states are doing, and then we're going to talk about some things that you may be interested in doing for your own financial being, your own financial health. All right. So, Arizona, the governor of Arizona is giving $1.8 million as state funds to food banks. So, they're directing their attention to the food banks. So, California, The governor of California is deploying the National Guard to support the food banks. So they plan on having the National Guard there at the food banks. There are 5.5 million people alone in California that are on food stamps. In Colorado, the governor of Colorado is giving $10 million for food banks. So they're focusing on the food banks. There are 600,000 people in the state of Colorado that uses food stamps. In the state of Connecticut, the governor is giving $3 million. The state of Delaware is declaring a state of an emergency. Hawaii is implementing a relief plan. So they're using food stamps over there in Hawaii. Can you imagine that? Anybody ever been to Hawaii before and seen how beautiful it is? They're using food stamps over in Hawaii. And the number is 151,000 people. The governor of Iowa stepped up. The governor of Kentucky is implementing a relief program. The governor of Louisiana is declaring a state of an emergency. And those are just some states. There are a whole bunch of states where the governor has either decided to focus attention on the local food banks or to focus attention on the National Guard. So what are some things that you can do? All right. So emergency fund, building an emergency fund 3 to 6 months is important. Why? Because you just never know what would happen. Imagine a government shutdown. Would you ever think? Emergency fund. Multiple sources of income. So you got to figure out how to make money besides going to a job. Now, going to a job is great. But what about AI when they get rid of all these jobs? So you got to figure out some other way to make money besides a job. And there are many ways to make money without a job. We are just foreign to them. It's kind of like a foreign concept, especially you've been trained to go to school and get a job, right? So you got to figure out how to make money in addition to a job or to replace your job, whichever one that you desire. People have different desires. Multiple sources of income. Got to figure that out. Got to figure out how else can I make money, right? And as you know, there are a lot of scams out here. There are a lot of con artists out here. And you got to figure that out. How else can I make money? Multiple sources of income, right? Then upskilling. So enhancing your skills. So say you're already skilled, right? Say you have a particular skill that you're already skilled in, right? You already have a job path that you've been following and you develop skills along the way. Well, upskilling is important, and that is learning something new. Upskilling. All right. And then with artificial intelligence coming, they're already telling you that they plan on getting rid of all these jobs, right? So what are you going to do then? Have you figured out other ways to make money? Are you buying assets? Do you have any assets? All right. So assets, the accumulation of assets is going to protect you. It's going to give you financial stability. And what are assets? Real estate, business, stock market, crypto. So accumulating assets is very important. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy, right? So you probably already know that. This is just a reminder. So, say for instance, that you are watching me and you are in this snap predicament. So, I have a feeling that on my audience, the people that watch me are not snap recipients. I have a strong feeling that the people that watch me are not snap recipients. Um, Nothing wrong with that if you are. More than likely, if you're not, then you know somebody else, like within arm's length, that will be affected by this. So, what if you are in this predicament? In a couple of days, no more food stamps. Well, like I mentioned before, governors are getting together in all different states and they are sending millions, and I mean millions of dollars over to food banks. So, in regards to food stamps, they are already ahead of the ball. They're already putting millions of dollars into food banks, and there's really nothing to be worried about if you're worried. Of course, it will be a dramatic change, right? If you are used to getting food stamps, so you will now have to go over to the food bank. But you're not going to starve to death because, like I said before, these governors, they're putting millions of dollars, like Arizona, for example, $1.8 million of state funds going to the food banks. And then if you're in this situation now, um, don't worry. Like I said before, they're already thinking ahead. And what you want to do is think about how you're going to get yourself out of the situation so that you're not relying on somebody else for food stamps, right? So, coming up with a master plan of how you are going to become self reliant. All right. So, sounds like a bad thing, but it might actually be a good thing. This might this might get you started in a new direction of self reliance, and a new direction of financial freedom, and a new direction of wealth creation, particularly if this is something that you never thought about. Because this is really a concept that it has to be brought to you, right? You have to have some kind of exposure to this. So it's not only not having the information, it's the fact that you need to be exposed to something new. All right. So it looks bad, but actually it might be a it might be a good thing. It might be better than you ever imagined. All right. Whoever thought about becoming wealthy? Well, if you've never been exposed to it, then you wouldn't think of that. But some people are not interested in becoming wealthy. Some people just want to have financial stability, which is perfectly fine. So it's your choice on how you want your life to be. Um, but just know that it's your choice. All right. So that is all I am going to say about Snap. If you would like to add anything, feel free to add it in the comments. If you know anyone that is interested in improving their finances, let them know about this channel. Share the channel. I do interview people. I interview entrepreneurs. I interview real estate investors. I interview people that have different types of businesses. So tune into the show for business ideals. Eventually, you will see them on the show, and they will be on the show sporadically. Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget, on your way out, hit this like button, and I will see you on the next video.